because last year my mum was the carnival queen.
With too much light, you still can't see. You need the right mixture of light and dark, and then you can see everything. When it's very dark, you can only see light things. Light things stand out against the dark, and dark things stand out against the light. In the world around us, we don't usually see light and dark on their own. We see them together. Photography uses light to make pictures.
All right, so we're going to do a photogram with Jonathan now. So we put the paper under the enlarger. Okay, Jonathan, what have we got?
Here we're making photograms with Keith Morris.
Fine. Okay, switch the lights off.
Photograms are just like photographs, except that you don't need a camera, just photographic paper, some objects and a bright light.
Okay, take your objects to see what sort of effect that makes. We'll do the first of our chemicals, which is the developer.
When it's put into a chemical developer, you can see how the paper turns black, but where the object has blocked out the light, the paper stays white.
So we have
Big and small.
big and small, which is the magnifying glass and the little model of a football player. And you can see where the metal magnifying glass has kept the light from falling on the paper. It's a very clear white mark.
Is this the same thing you use for X-rays in the hospital?
No, it's a different sort of photographic process, but it looks like an X-ray picture, doesn't it? It looks as if you're seeing through something to the very structure of it. I like that a lot. Should we do another one now?
Yeah.
Who's the next one in line? Okay. So your object, which is your hair grip.
You can use all kinds of different objects to make photograms, even your own hand.
And then light comes on again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Off. Okay, take your objects away and your hair grip. And put this into the photo for a while to bring up the picture. Turn it over and see what we've got. Okay. How about this for a picture?
There's no detail in the photogram, just a stark contrast between black and white that makes ordinary objects look completely different. Are they black on white or white on black?
Look around you, and you'll see black and white everywhere. Artists use black and white to make really strong images, like these coal sculptures, or these feathers dipped in black oil. Or these objects that have been turned black by the artist burning them. Or this Japanese writing.
Now we're going to do a project about Japanese gardens. It's going to be a light show or shadow play, and we're working with an artist called Terry Chin. We're starting off with just black ink and white paper. Some of us are drawing shapes, and others are making pictures of gardens. Look how the black ink stands out against the white paper. We don't have to work with just a brush. The ink is good to work with in different ways. When we finish these black and white pictures, we're going to find out how to turn them into a light show.
We're going to start making a big paper screen, and using light and shadow, we're going to show these amazing gardens that were in Japan a long time ago.
We've cut out the shapes from our drawings, and now we're sticking all the pieces of paper together to make the screen. When we come to shine light on the white screen, the light will go through the holes in the paper so that they appear black. To make the pictures for our light show, we're photocopying some of our drawings onto sheets of plastic. The black shapes will block out the light when we put them on the overhead projectors. The colours help to set the scene, but you can see how the pictures are made by the projected shapes. We're using light and dark to make shadow pictures. And now it's time for our light show or shadow play.
Well, a very long time ago, in Japan, all the people who lived there wanted the gods to come down and live with the people. And so the people thought, why don't we build gardens? The first one would be the Blossom Garden. That was very, very beautiful. And the other garden was the Dragon Garden, which was full of fire. And the other garden they thought of building was the Water Garden, which was very important. And the gods saw it was so beautiful that they came down to visit it. Now, when people go to Japan today and they see all these beautiful gardens, you know why they're there.
Tone. It's as simple as mixing black and white, but not quite. Tone is what happens between black and white, with all the variations, shades, in between. And it's not just between black and white, it works for color as well. Look at how the blue goes from very light to very dark. They're all tones. This is all blue and green, but with hundreds of different tones. Tones can go from very dark to very light. Tones help you to see the shape of things through light and shadow. Paint can be used to make tones. Yen is an artist who uses very simple, gentle tones in his work and makes clear pictures out of just a few brush strokes.
The typical traditional Chinese way doing bamboos, which is only using one color, black ink only.
With a lot of water on the brush and only a little ink, Yen can control the amount of ink that goes onto the paper. These different tones suggest the shadows and shape of the bamboo. It's very simple, but by using different tones of just one color ink, Yen has made a picture that looks just like bamboo. Look at these sculptures. One is white and the other is black. But they both have tones that show the shape of the face. It all depends on how the light falls on them. Look at this photograph. There are no lines in it, only tones. And it's the tones from very light to very dark that show the shape of the faces. It's light that makes these tones. If we change the light, we change the tones in a photograph.
I want you to look at the photographs and ask yourself, first of all, how many lights have been used to make the photograph? And where have the lights come from? That is, where are they in relationship to the person? Okay. So in this picture, you've got a light coming in very sharply from one side. And you get this very strong profile of white light, like this. And it then sort of blends back into
There's a shadow
dark.
under his neck.
Yes, exactly. So strong shadows there. And you can see his light.
On the front of his hand, where the light is facing, there's a little light there. And under his fingers, there's a shadow because the light can't reach there.
That's right.
This photograph is very strong, with only one light shining onto the face, and the tones gradually get darker towards the shadow at the edge of the picture.
In this photograph, one half of the face is light tones and the other half is dark tones. We're going to make a photograph using the same lighting as this one.
So who wants to be the model? Right, to Catherine. You come and sit down. Okay. So you want a light, very strong light from this side onto Catherine's face, and another light from here onto the background behind her. Okay, so what we'll do first of all is bring this light down a bit there. Okay. Can you switch it on for me?
You don't need a lot of light to make a strong picture. By changing the direction of the light, you can get a totally different effect.
Who wants to be a star of a horror film? Who's got the most horrible face that I can possibly think of? Now, we had Catherine before. He's a boy for this one, I think. Yes. He's a real horror one. He's scary as ready, without even putting the lights on yet. So what we're going to do is have you standing on the chair. Okay. So I'm going to bring this light over very carefully, because it's hot. And then I'm going to point it up underneath him and switch it on. And have a look what that does. We change the photograph from being a very nice photograph of Catherine to a horrible photograph of Jason.
Now we can see other ways of making tones dramatic.
Right, I'm just going to say one word, and then what I want you to do is say all the things that come into your head when I say this word. Okay, so wait for the word, see if you can think about it. Storm.
Clouds.
Clouds.
Darkness.
Darkness.
Flashing. Cracks.
Cracks.
Shattering.
Shattering. Flashes. Go on, keep thinking. What else?
Smashing. Bangs. Frightened. Terrified.
We're starting to make storm pictures. We're using acrylic paint, oil bars, chalk, and charcoal. We're concentrating on the tones in our pictures, making light tones and dark tones, smudging and blending. To make the colour tones, we always mix the paint with white or black, never using pure colour on its own. When the pictures were finished, we photographed them so that we could project them very large onto the wall. This is how they turned out, our tonal pictures of storms. I used chalk for this one. To make the rain, I put lots of little lines close together. Then I smudged the chalk to show the tornado that is blowing things around.
To make it look like this wave was crashing up against the cliff, I used lots of different tones in acrylic paint, then dabbed on white with a brush to make the frothy top of the wave.
They all look really good, don't they?